I grew up in Fresno, California, and I went to a high school named Central High School, and we were decent at sports. I had a lot of fun playing a bunch of different sports and stuff, but we were by no means the top of the food chain in the region. There were some other schools out there that were much better than us, but we gave them a good fight, and so I don't remember ever getting blown out by any of the teams, but 20 years goes by, and my high school, Central High School, wins the state championship. And that was huge because knowing that 20 years ago that we were maybe coming in at 500 for the football team, it was pretty amazing what they did over there this past year in winning the state championship. That kind of stuff, becoming that team that just is the best team in the region, the team that people are circling that day that they play you. That doesn't happen overnight. That happens over a period of time where these athletes, they assume an identity that they are winners, that they are competitors, that they can figure out how to win the game regardless of how much they are behind. Now, this is something that doesn't happen automatically. It has to be intentional. One thing that you can do is an activity that I like to call creating a competitive mindset, right? So it's very, very simple. You separate your kids into groups of maybe 5 or 6, and you give them one question. How can you compete today? And then you just let them go, right? So the idea is that they are going to come up with ways to compete against one another. Now, it's important that they're not competing against one another at the expense of one another. I'm not trying to compete against somebody and hurt them. That hurts the team. So how can you compete and protect the team? This sparks some great conversation between the different athletes, especially if you just let them go. Like play some music and just give them 4 or 5 minutes, or I like to do it in songs. So it's like, all right, you have 2 songs to be able to think about this kind of stuff. Then you bring them all together, and you can have them share and write it on the board, or you can just have them turn it in. You go to practice, you compile a list, you use it as discussion for the next day, right? So there's a couple different ways you can do it. Point is that you want to get this list somewhere that they can see it. So maybe it's listed on the window or by a door or in the locker room, somewhere where they can see it, and you tell them that you're going to ask them, how are you competing today? Maybe you pick like 1 or 2 of your athletes and just say, hey, how are you competing today? And it gets them in this mindset of always trying to compete, always trying to get better, right? And so that's basically the whole activity. You compile the list, you put it together, put it up somewhere, and then just let them know that you're going to ask them how they're competing. You're going to ask them what it is that they're going to do to be better that day. So when you do this, if you do this, let me know how it goes. You can email me. You can hit me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is. All right. Good luck.